to New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah, that's what it was called. Puffy's place was like just.
Jennifer Lopez is done with Ben Affleck, who's probably ex number 20,000. So naturally, she's found herself in the middle of yet another storm. This time it involves Diddy, and yeah, even Beyoncé and Jay-Z are in on it. Oh, and did I mention it's about a lawsuit? Seriously, does anyone in Hollywood know how to stay out of trouble?
He said, he busy doing what? I said, he with Puff, they're in the room, they busy, they don't want to be bothered. He said, well, I'm going in there. I said, bro, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothering them. He was like, yo, I don't care, man. I'm going in there. That boot like that. I said, yo, bro, Jesus Christ had to come down here and take the air out of my body before you get in that room right there. Watch. He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed him and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the thing. And so then, Ja was like, yo, what's going on? Yo, G, that's my cousin. He know me well. You know, and Puff was like, yo, G, what happened? I said, he tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room. He was like, he just looked, Puff looked at Ja. He said, yo, Ja said, you ain't want to go in that room. There was a lot of freak.
Let's start by saying this: I've got no idea what happens to rich dudes when hit a P. Diddy party, but it ain't normal something about the cocktails, and the vibe seems to turn even the straight-laced white man into something out of a weird fever dream. And honestly, when you're heading to one of these parties, do you even know what you're getting yourself into? Mansion parties where every room's got something weirder going on. It's like a bad trip you can't get out of. You look into a room and suddenly there's a whole other scene playing out, a separate party, if you will. It's like a twisted labyrinth of drama and expensive booze with the likes of Rick Ross and Diddy wandering about like it's just another Saturday.
He knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
The way she's handled it, she's been such a compassionate person, it made me cry like twice. And then he's going to be a mentor on the show. So he said he's going to be the one to show the kids how to do it.
Right.
Do you have any advice for him to go on?
No, I mean, he knows what he's doing. I don't have really anything. No advice.
The whole Diddy versus lawsuit thing. Yeah, this is where it gets all sorts of ugly. You see Jennifer Lopez, she's the epitome of class, supposedly keeping her hands clean while maintaining her spot on the red carpet. But now her name is somehow getting dragged into a legal mess involving Diddy, accusations of freaky conduct, and a smattering of claims that'll make your eyebrows shoot straight off your forehead. Oh, you didn't think J Lo and lawsuits would be in the same sentence? Me neither, but here we are.
That's number one on that invitation list.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
Yes,
right?
without a doubt.
Rumor has it J Lo was holding on tight to Diddy back in the day, issuing statements like, "I'm going to stand by my man," right when the whole world started looking at Puffy like he'd gone off the deep end. Diddy, or whatever name he's going by these days, is no stranger to drama. Let's not forget his dating track record reads more like a cautionary tale than a romance novel, and now he's being accused of all kinds of stuff involving his record company's president and shocker underage girls. It's like a twisted Lifetime movie. Did wise official stance, oh it's the usual money grab, another desperate attempt to take me down, yada yada. Seriously, it's like these celebs all have a template they copy-paste. For their PR nightmares, according to Diddy, these allegations are just someone trying to shake him down for cash. His attorneys, as usual, are working overtime to brush the mess under the rug. But here's the thing, this isn't just about him anymore. There's a deep level of pain and trauma that's been aired out for everyone to see, with accusers detailing how their lives got flipped upside down by one night in some New York studio. Real heavy stuff. We've also got to talk about how these mansion parties turn into a breeding ground for scandalous mansion parties. Oh boy. Diddy was allegedly running a whole criminal enterprise like he's some Bond villain, involving his pals procuring substances, and, well, let's just say providing entertainment of a different variety. It's all very Hollywood in the worst sense, if you know what I mean. Throw in Cuba Gooding Jr. for good measure, and you've got yourself a scandal soup that's boiling over. Also accusing Cuba Gooding Jr., his producer, filed the original lawsuit last month. Accusing comes of forcing him to find sex workers and pressuring him into doing sexual things with them. Now he's saying Gooding groped and fondled him while they were on Cum's yacht. Jennifer stood by her guy while all this was happening up to a point, but it doesn't take a psychic to figure out that maybe Diddy wasn't exactly Prince Charming. Let's be real, even when Diddy wasn't hanging with J Lo, he didn't exactly respect boundaries. He was reportedly obsessed with Kim Porter, his ex, to the point where he'd have someone tailing her around town when she was out. Sounds healthy, right? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. And just when you think Diddy's shenanigans couldn't get more bizarre, here comes the fallout. Remember that video? Yeah, the video that allegedly showed something pretty damning. People want to know where it went. Did it disappear into the ether like half of Hollywood's dirty laundry, or is it sitting on someone's hard drive waiting to be weaponized at the right moment? According to rumors, the footage was taken without the woman's consent and might have made its rounds to some pretty unsavory characters. It's not just the Los Angeles that is throwing shade. There are whispers from behind the scenes too.
Don't know. I was on a show called I Want to Work for Diddy in 2008, and I was the first trans person to be on a competition reality show. It was because of you, and that meant so much to the trans community. I didn't win, actually. I was eliminated after 6 episodes. But honey, we're at the Oscars now, and so I won. Yeah, you won. I won. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, but wait, there's more because we can't leave. Crystal McKinney, a former model who claims Diddy basically obliterated her career after she rejected his advances. It's all very Hollywood. Chewed me up and spit me out, except it's Diddy who's at the center of this whirlwind of messed up power dynamics. The industry turned its back on her after she dared to say no to one of its untouchable figures, and now she's telling the world exactly what went down. A tale as old as time, really. The entertainment industry has a long history of doing women dirty.
Why do you think your pops is a global icon?
He's the best to ever do it. Period. Yeah.
But that's,
Sure.
Diddy, you over there with my ET cards looking like you about to take my job.
No, they ain't on your card. But tonight was special because backstage we was like, we're gonna do this one for his mother. This is the first one we did for his mom. We was thinking about her. It was like, this is always a dream of hers that we'd be on stage together, like in a big way, in such a global televised event. And I'm proud of you, boy.
But let's not pretend it's just women who got caught in this web of lies, deception, and all-around sliminess. Diddy's former producer Rodney Jones has been throwing accusations that involve him in substances and forced favors. It's like this dude was a puppet master with an entire troupe at his disposal. People are talking, and suddenly it's not just whispers in dark corners. It's out there in the open for the world to dissect, even Usher. Yeah, that Usher got a mention in this circus. Apparently, there was some kind of fallout, and it involved a hospital visit, but hey, everything is all cool now, right? Puff taught him everything he knows, or whatever the spin is. Honestly, trying to make sense of it all is like untangling a pair of headphones after they've been left in your bag for a week. It's just not. After not, fast forward to today, and Diddy's locked up in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. AKA Hell on Earth. Think of it as karma coming to collect after a couple of decades. Diddy's up there with R. Kelly and other notorious detainees, which kind of paints a picture that the place has got more problems than a high school math book with stabbings, suicides, and deplorable horrible conditions. This is where they sent him, the king of the White Party Mansion, now trying to survive among 1,200 other inmates. Meanwhile, Jennifer, for all her loyalty, has managed to keep herself out of this mess mostly. Sure, she's had her own share of romantic calamities. Hello, Ben Affleck, welcome back to the roller coaster, but at least she's not currently staring down a lawsuit, and you know what? Good for her. It's a miracle in itself when someone escapes these situations without needing a legal team bigger than a football squad. Hollywood's got enough chaos without getting her hands dirty with Diddy's legal drama, and while we're all busy scratching our heads about what happens next, the focus is now on the videos, the tapes, and the possible blackmail material. What secrets do they hold? Who else is implicated? I mean, the Kardashians' names got thrown into the ring too with whispers of documents and footage, and who's even surprised at this point? It's all just rich people scrambling over who's got dirt on who. It's like a bad soap opera where every plot twist involves another layer of scandal, the Kardashians being mixed up in it. Sure, honestly, would we expect anything less? And what about those parties that everyone's talking about, the kind of parties where apparently you don't know who's kissing who, and maybe it's midnight and you're kissing someone and didn't even realize? Well, let's just say there are reasons those events were infamous. They weren't just playing spin the bottle. If you catch my drift, the allegations are coming in thick and fast. Epstein-level accusations are being hinted at, and if they're even half true, then what a mess we're looking at the end of the day, whether Jennifer wants anything to do with this or not. Her name's attacked Ed. Even if just in gossip headlines, because let's be real, we all love a good scandal, the juicier the better, and there's nothing juicier than watching the rich and famous fall from grace. Let's dive even deeper into the bizarre world of these mansion parties. Imagine a sprawling estate with rooms filled with expensive furniture, champagne towers, and a collection of Hollywood's most controversial figures. You walk in, and you're greeted by A-list celebrities. Everyone pretending like they're having the time of their lives, but behind the curtains, and you'd find yourself questioning everything in one room. There's a rap battle happening with some of the hottest names in the industry. In another, well, that's where things get really weird. There's whispers of substances being passed around like candy, and of course people losing themselves in the chaos. These are the kind of parties that would make the Roman emperors blush. We're talking about a group of the rich and famous who have long since lost track of what normal even means. It's almost like a rite of passage to attend these INF events where the rules are loose and boundaries even looser. It's not just the substances that are questionable, it's the behavior that follows. 1 second someone's dancing with their friends, and the next they're making out with a complete stranger in the corner, all while camera phones are capturing everything. And of course, let's not pretend these are just harmless party games. Some of these so-called white parties have their own sets of unspoken rules that would make even the most seasoned partygoer uncomfortable. It's a breeding ground for scandal, manipulation, and just flat-out poor decisions. So where does Jennifer fit in all of this? Well, there's the whole thing with her standing by Diddy during the early 2000s, and yes, back then maybe she was naive or truly believed in him. I mean, let's be honest, she was at the top of her game. She had hits on the radio, movies and theaters, and Diddy on her arm, but the Diddy she was defending back then isn't too different from the one who's in hot water now. There's always been this cloud of controversy surrounding him, whether it was the shootout that happened at a nightclub or the way he treated his exes. Diddy has never been far from the drama, and don't forget about Kim Porter, his ex, who, up until her untimely passing, was always a point of contention. There were rumors that Diddy wasn't just possessive, he was downright controlling. People close to Kim spoke about how she'd have someone watching her or checking up on her, almost like she wasn't allowed to have her own life. And let's not gloss over the fact that right before Kim died, she was reportedly working on a tell-all book about her life with Diddy. That kind of coincidence doesn't sit right with a lot of people. Imagine being so scared that you can't even share your story without looking over your shoulder. The mystery surrounding that damning video is another layer of this convoluted mess. Some say it's the kind of footage that could destroy careers if it ever saw the light of day, the kind of tape that, if leaked, would not just implicate Diddy but a whole lot of other high-profile names. That's probably why people are scrambling, trying to find it, trying to bury it, or both. No one wants their dirty laundry aired out, especially when it involves the kind of skeletons that Hollywood loves to keep locked away. And the fact that it allegedly involves someone who never consented, that's a scandal that can't just be swept under the rug. Crystal McKenna's story also sheds light on just how ruthless Diddy could be. When things didn't go his way, she turned down his advances, and just like that her career was over. It's the classic Hollywood nightmare. You get on the wrong side of a powerful man, and suddenly you're persona non grata. It's the kind of toxic culture that has plagued the industry for decades, and it's women like Crystal who end up paying the price. Her story is just another piece of evidence that Diddy isn't the innocent party he claims to be, and it's not like she's the only one. Others have come forward sharing their stories, adding to the mountain of allegations that just keeps getting taller. And then there's Usher. His name being linked to all of this isn't too surprising if you've been following Diddy's history. Usher was taken under Diddy's wing when he was just a teenager, and while they both claim it was all about the music and learning the ropes of the industry, there are whispers that think it wasn't as wholesome as they'd like us to believe. Usher himself has alluded to some pretty questionable experiences during that time, and it's not too far of a stretch to think that maybe, just maybe, those experiences weren't all good. The fact that there was a hospital visit involved, that just adds another layer to the mystery. Whatever happened, it wasn't just a simple falling out, and now we find ourselves in the present day with Diddy sitting in Brooklyn's MDC, a far cry from the lavish mansions and luxury yachts he's used to. It's almost poetic. In a way, the man who once threw million-dollar parties is now stuck in a cell dealing with the harsh realities of jail life. And while some might say he deserves it, there's also the undeniable fact that his family is suffering too. His kids, ranging in age from toddlers to adults, are left to pick up the pieces for them. Diddy isn't just a music mogul, he's their dad, and watching him go through this, knowing the accusations that are out there, it's got to be heartbreaking. 4 of his children have neither parent around right now, with their mother Kim Porter gone, and their father locked up. His older kids have been trying to show support, attending court hearings, and standing by their father, but you can only imagine the emotional toll this is taking on them. They're old enough to understand what's happening, to see the headlines, and to hear the rumors, and for his younger daughters, it's a confusing, scary time. They don't understand the ins and outs of the legal system. They just know that their dad is gone, and they don't know when or if he's coming back. And you know what? The Kardashians are back in the mix of drama again, and this time they're tangled up with none other than Sean Diddy Combs. So what exactly is going on here? This story goes way back to the wild parties and lavish events they attended together. It's been reported that the Kardashians were frequent guests at Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. Yes, those parties. These gatherings were more than just a bit scandalous. They were practically legendary for their over-the-top excess and no-limits atmosphere. Khloe Kardashian even shared a story in an old episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians where she recalled a particularly insane night at one of Diddy's parties. From what she said, these parties had more going on than just champagne and celebrity gossip. Apparently, the dress code was optional, if you catch my drift. And it wasn't just Khloe who was in on the action. The entire Kardashian family seemed to be tied to Diddy's social circle, even making appearances at his birthday bashes and other high Profile events in 2019, they attended Diddy's 50th birthday party, which was a star-studded affair filled with more celebrities than an awards show red carpet. But it's not all fun and games. The connection between Diddy and the Kardashians has taken a turn towards something much darker. Recently, some documents have surfaced that allegedly tie the Kardashians to Diddy's ongoing legal issues. Now, for those who might not be up to speed, Diddy has found himself in the middle of some very serious accusations. We're talking about charges related to racketeering, intimate trafficking, and some extremely shady dealings. Apparently, the Kardashian connection comes into play because of their history of attending these wild parties. There's been speculation that some of these gatherings weren't as innocent as the Kardashians might have thought, and that they might have unintentionally gotten themselves wrapped up in something much bigger. Kris Jenner, the matriarch of the Kardashian clan, is reportedly in a bit of a panic over this, and honestly, who can blame her? There are rumors swirling that some kind of incriminating footage or documentation exists from these parties, and that it might not paint the Kardashians in the best light. It's been said that Kris has been working overtime to do damage control, trying to distance the family from Diddy and any legal fallout that might be coming his way. Corey Gamble, Kris's boyfriend, is also in the mix. Corey has had ties to Diddy for years, and there are even conspiracy theories about him being involved in covering up some of the questionable activities that went down at these gatherings. The whole thing has also led to some tension within the Kardashian family itself. Kourtney Kardashian, for example, has apparently been at odds with her husband, Travis Barker, over the situation. Reports suggest that Kourtney wanted to reach out and support Justin Bieber, who was also linked to Diddy during these crazy party days, but Travis was having none of it. The connection between Justin Bieber, Diddy, and the Kardashians is another layer of this mess. It's like everyone who was at these parties is now scrambling to get away from the fallout. And let's not forget Kim Kardashian. While she hasn't been as openly connected to Diddy as her sisters, there's no doubt that she's been to her fair share of Diddy-hosted events. The problem for Kim is that, as always, her name alone is enough to draw attention. Even if she wasn't directly involved in anything being sketchy, just being associated with Diddy right now is enough to cause problems. Hollywood is all about perception, and right now the perception of Diddy isn't exactly favorable. There's also been talk about Kim trying to distance herself from the situation by staying out of the public eye for a bit, which is honestly a rare move for her. This isn't just about partying anymore. It's about power, control, and a whole lot of money. Diddy has been accused of using these parties as a way to exert influence over the people in his circle, and the Kardashians, whether knowingly or not, may have played right into that. Hollywood is notorious for its power plays and blackmail, and it's starting to look like this situation is no different. The Kardashians, who are usually so careful about their public image, may have underestimated just how dangerous the waters were that they were swimming in. There's even been some chatter online that Hulu might be considering pulling the plug on the Kardashians reality show because of the bad press. While there's no official confirmation on that front, it's not hard to see why the network might be nervous. The Kardashians are supposed to be the ultimate Hollywood success story, glamorous, powerful, and always one step ahead of the drama. If it turns out that they were involved in some way with Diddy shady dealings, even just by association, it could be a huge blow to their brand. They've worked for years to build this empire, and one scandal of this magnitude could bring it all crashing down. Do you think celebrities like Diddy and J-Lo will ever face real consequences, or is it all just smoke and mirrors? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.